So my story dates back to 2005. I remember I was walking across the parking lot to take my daughter to ballet class, and I heard this familiar voice. At that time, it wasn't familiar, but now it's very familiar. And I heard this voice behind me that said, "Excuse me, can I offer you my business card?" And I thought, huh. I turned around and I thought, well, she seems really nice, and had no idea that that one little conversation would change the trajectory of my life, my family's life. And at that point, I booked a party. I became a hostess and fell in love with these amazing Mary Kay products. I loved products so much that I hosted a couple parties because I liked the saying that I heard a lot in Mary Kay: if it's free, it's for me. So I hosted a couple parties because I couldn't live a day without my day cream or my eye cream. And mostly I wanted it for free, right? So at that time I had my son and my daughter, my oldest daughter, and they were probably like 6 and 3 at the time. And I was working 2 part-time jobs. I was a personal trainer at Gold's Gym, and I worked part-time at a graphic design company with one of my friends from high school. So my plate was full. I was not looking for anything new to add to my plate. However, about a year of using these products and I needed to reorder them, and I ran out of friends and family to invite for parties, so I didn't think I could be a hostess again. But I thought, you know what, if I'm going to use these products, I might as well get them at cost, right? So that was the point where I made a decision. That was May of 2006. That was when I made a decision to register with Mary Kay to get my products at cost. When my starter kit came in, I remember pulling the products that I wanted out of the box, and I literally put everything else aside because it was almost summer at that point, and my kids were out of school. We were going on a great vacation. So fast forward a couple weeks, we go on our just an amazing, like those vacations where you just feel like the heavens open up, right? It was one of those vacations with my family. And when we got back to reality from that cruise, my friend that I worked with at the graphic design company called me and said, "Hey, I need to let you know that while you were gone, him and the other partner decided to close the business. So we don't need you to come in on Monday because there's no more." The company, I won't say the company name, but there is no more. So when I came back from vacation, I came back to no paycheck. And I think about that was probably my first major obstacle that I had to learn to overcome. And I think right now is probably a lot of people are facing that same obstacle, especially when I'm hearing friends that are being furloughed and no paycheck. So I remember being in that situation, and my literal thought was, wow, isn't it amazing that God put my starter kit in my path for that reason? So I remember going to the corner where I had put my box, and I picked it up, started looking at these products again, pulled out all the training materials. And I loved that every career advancement goal I could ever dream of reaching was so clearly mapped out inside. Now, before I had children, before motherhood, there's life, right? I was a practice manager for a local dermatologist, and I remember going to work and never knowing, like, am I doing enough? Do they think I'm doing a good job? So I would just work as hard as I could, and not knowing was always so frustrating. So what I loved when I looked at these Mary Kay papers was it was all in black and white. I didn't have to guess. I could just follow the steps. And I remember thinking, if I can follow instructions to bake a box of brownies, I can do this. So that was about July of 2006 when I made a decision to say, you know what, I'm going to give this Mary Kay thing a shot. And I started working about 6 to 10 hours a week, mostly around my dining room table because that was my comfort level. And I could manage 1 or 2 ladies at a time. And I usually had my son, who was right beside me at my heels doing a Legos or a train set. My daughter was in school. But working consistently about 6 to 10 hours a week, by New Year's Eve of that same year, I was able to earn the use of my first Mary Kay career car for free. Remember, that was my word. I like free things. So at that time, we had a great family car. But what really excited me more than earning a free car was the option, the flexibility to cash it out every month. So for 2 years, my family and I took the extra cash option. And that was our own economic stimulus check, if you will, because we were able to put that back into our local economy. I was able to hire a housekeeper so that I could pay that blessing to her to clean toilets and mop floors, the things that didn't bring me joy. What brought me joy was being around my family. So That was just a choice that I received because of working my Mary Kay business. Like Sue said, 4 hours a day, 6 to 10 hours a week, whatever that looks like for you, like you can make it work. So fast forward another year, by December 2007, my husband and I welcomed our third child into our family. So we kind of went through the, being pregnant and having a newborn. So the first part of 2008, I had 2 elementary school children and an infant. So if that takes you back to, nursing babies and all that. So growing my Mary Kay business with customers while I had kids that were kind of getting to a little bit more self-sufficient stage, to kind of rewind. Now you have an infant again. So what I loved was the flexibility to say, you know what, I'm going to choose to work my business so I can be home for this third child, just like I was for my other 2. So I learned really quickly how to overcome that obstacle that my husband was saying, okay, Stephanie, we can't live on love forever. You either need to make a decision to work your Mary Kay business, or you're going to have to get another job. And I would just look at my sweet Ella's face, and I thought, there is no way that somebody else is going to raise that baby. So for me, that's when I made the decision to step into directorship with Mary Kay, because like Pamela, I wanted a bigger paycheck. So that excited me. And I remember Laura telling me, if you want to make this much money, you need to step into directorship. So I did that. And I loved that I had the flexibility, even when Ella was an infant and I did have to kind of pull back from holding my parties, I was able to just put her in the car seat, take her around to deliver products. And of course, all my customers wanted to see my new baby. So, having your family as a part of your business was such a blessing. And here we are, fast forward 14, almost 15 years, and I feel so blessed to represent a 7-time career car achieving unit, blessed with flexibility over the last decade to have children in high school who are now in college. I can't believe I have 2 kids, college. Like, how did that happen? We blinked. But again, going through having kids in high school, middle school, and elementary school. So the next obstacle Mary Kay overcame for me was giving me the financial flexibility to take all 3 kids and put them into one school. It made my life so much simpler. But to put them all in one school and having the flexibility and income needed to make that choice. And of course, as the mom who likes to do fun things with their kids, that meant I had the flexibility to be on every single field trip for all 3 kids. And the growing demands of sports and music and art activities you're just everywhere. You know how it is. So I'm so grateful. I am so grateful for this flexible business opportunity.